You talked about experimenting, partying. Cocaine?
No, I never.
It's Britney, y'all. The woman behind some of our favorite songs has been enjoying her freedom since being let out of her conservatorship, and many fans are stoked for her. But today we're here to remind you what caused her downward spiral in the first place. Welcome to Beyond the Screen, I'm Nate, and today we're breaking down the top 10 worst Britney Spears scandals you forgot about. Number 10. Rehabilitation. Oh baby, baby, how was she supposed to know that substances don't end very well? Britney is famous for many things: her voice, her missing hair, and now her freedom. But one of her tamer media scandals came in 2007 following a long night of rage-fueled menacing. She checked herself into a rehab facility. She had recently divorced from her background dancer slash husband, Kevin Federline, and apparently was not taking the situation well. As we know now, there was a massive amount of media and public involvement with the divorce. The entire thing was basically documented for everyone to see. I still remember Britney's bald head on my TV screen at the age of 6 because my sister just loved TMZ. According to her manager at the time, the messy divorce combined with the public shame that she was feeling, the decision was made to check herself into a rehabilitation facility somewhere in Los Angeles. She stayed in the facility for 30 days before being released back into the wild, but despite that stint, things did not get better, and her family life especially was next to suffer. Number 9. The 2007 VMAs. The MTV Video Music Awards have been host to some of the most confrontational and dramatic moments in music history. Nicki Minaj famously called out host Miley Cyrus when she took the stage to accept an award. Kanye West interrupted Taylor Swift's acceptance speech to tell people that he was happy for Taylor, but that Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. Yeah, I know he goes by Ye now, but I don't care. When Britney Spears took to the stage at the 2007 VMAs, fans were happy to see her on her feet, as the media made it seem like she had been going down a dark path, which she was. She appeared on stage sporting a blonde wig, which was obvious to anyone who was aware of the head shaving incident a few months prior. She started singing in the most under-enthusiastic way ever, and while her background dancers are giving it their all, it looks like Britney's just stumbling around the stage with little to no idea what's going on. She even attempted to lip-sync her songs, but she failed miserably, barely coming close to what she needed to do. The performance, which was her last before taking her hiatus from performing, will live forever on the internet for the world to see, and was actually parodied in the final moments of the comedy Disaster Movie, which is the most random piece of cinema I have ever seen in my life. Number 8. Public Family Feud. Britney is just like anyone else. She brushes her teeth in the morning, she goes to bed at night, and she constantly fights with her family, like non-stop. Now you guys don't do that? Okay, I'm just gonna make a phone call. Britney wasn't born into a typical happy family life. In fact, quite the opposite. Her parents struggled to make ends meet, her father was an avid consumer of the no-no juice, and an aggressive presence in her life. According to Britney's mom, her daughter urged her to leave her husband several times over the years after seeing her suffer years and years of verbal mistreatment. Throughout her rise to fame, her father was primarily kept out of her life until 2007 when she was placed under a conservatorship, which means that a court decided that she was unfit to control her own finances, so they placed her father in charge, because he had such a great track record. Over the 13 years she was under the conservatorship, it's estimated that her father stole $5 million from his own daughter. She famously fought with her sister Jamie Lynn, who was the star of a Nickelodeon show called Zoe 101, until outside life caused her to take a break from the acting world to be a mama. The paparazzi was able to capture lots of juicy pics of Britney yelling at her family, blowing up every single aspect they could of it. She eventually patched things up with her sister in 2019, but the jury is still out on her relationship with her dad. Number 7. Marrying a background dancer. Britney's love life has been anything but straight and narrow. Over her life, she's had many men come and go, never seeming to find the right fit for her lifestyle. In 2006, Britney married a man named Kevin Federline after meeting one fateful night in a nightclub. After spending 1 week together, Britney invited Kevin to join her world tour, where he acted as both her lover and a background dancer. They describe meeting as love at first sight. Kevin spotted her from across the room and felt an instant connection. A magnet appeared in front of them like a cartoon, and it just drew them together. The paparazzi couldn't get enough of these two. While they were seemingly in a genuine relationship, they made it seem like the couple were the most chaotic in the world. Their union was a media massacre. They were so stoked to see this relationship either crash and burn, or, well, yeah, they just wanted it to crash and burn. After less than a year together, the couple filed for divorce, apparently citing citing constant fighting as their main issue. Not long after, Britney went on her famous meltdown, so needless to say she did not take the breakup very well. Number 6. Smacked herself. This is a more recent scandal with Miss Spears. Recently, Britney was in the most peaceful and godlike city in the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, when she spotted the NBA player Victor Wembanyama at a hotel, and I'm very sorry if I mispronounced that name. According to the police reports and the recently released security video, Britney tapped Vic on his back and shoulder in an attempt to get his attention. This is when his security team had reportedly backhanded her, causing the whole situation in the first place. Britney claimed that the security detail laid their hands on her, but the reality was the security team's ninja-like reflexes caused them to accidentally push her back towards herself, inadvertently slapping herself across the face. The funny thing with that situation is just how hard she was convinced that someone else had hit her. Like she didn't feel her own hand touch her face. That'd be like me standing here right now and going, "Hey, who did that? Chris, is that you?" That's the camera guy, he never gets a shout out. With the footage now not only proving her guilt but her misremembering of the situation, many are beginning to question if Britney was all there during the situation. Just saying, the only time I forget stuff that significant is after a couple of trips to my deck, if you know what I mean. Number 5. The meltdown. As many people know, Britney began a downward spiral health-wise in 2007. After her divorce from Kevin Federline, she not only shaved her head, but she went on a rage-fueled rampage across the city, taking down anyone in her path. After being swarmed by photographers at a gas station in LA, she went on a rampage wielding an umbrella and swinging it over and over at one of their cars, attempting to smash their window. She also hurled expletives at anyone and everyone with a camera, eventually launching the umbrella towards the crowd. This was the main incident that landed her in a psychiatric hold. Fun fact about that umbrella used in the incident, it was auctioned off for $7,000 online, and I cannot wait for it to show up. All my life savings on that thing. I hope there's still some broken glass on it. Number 4. Accidentally released birthday suit pics. Birthday suits, a term which originated in Germany as a term for the clothes that you are born in, which is none. Britney accidentally exposed her birthday suit in 2022 when she posted a series of photos to her Instagram of herself holding her new puppy. While it may not seem outside the realm of reality for anyone who is a hardcore Britney fan, to everyone else, she just exposed herself on one of the most used social media platforms in the world. The photos were later deleted after a series of negative comments and messages began bombarding her inbox. Nothing ever came of this, but just let this entry be a reminder to never post a picture of yourself holding a puppy in your birthday suit. Hold a bearded dragon or a snake or something, make yourself look edgy. Number 3. Weird TikToks. This entry isn't a scandal per se, but it certainly needs to be mentioned. Fans rejoiced when the hashtag #FreeBritney finally worked and she was released from her conservatorship in 2021. Since being released, fans were expecting her to possibly release some more music, or maybe even appear as a judge on a new reality show. Instead, what she has been up to is making some of the weirdest and hardest to watch TikToks on the planet. If you follow her account unironically, I do apologize, but this entry is probably not for you. Britney regularly posts videos of herself staring into the camera and dancing. Now, while this is the basis for the platform, she has this blank, lifeless stare when she does it, like she's peering directly into your soul. I've only ever witnessed a handful of these clips, but every time I do, I'm just reminded of how strange and unnerving the internet can be sometimes. Aren't you glad that you popped by this little slice of internet heaven? Click that like button if you are. Number 2. She shaved her head. In 2007, aka Britney's glory year, she famously posted a video of herself holding clippers in a barber's chair, missing most of her hair. Not all of it though, she looked a little bit like the dude from Brothers Grimm. If you haven't seen that movie, that is Heath Ledger's best performance, okay? A documentary about Britney's life was released in 2019 called Britney Spears Breaking Point. In the doc, she revealed the true story behind her shaving of the head. Following a brief stint in a rehab facility in Antigua, Britney fled to see her sons, who had been living with her ex Kevin. Of course, when she turned up at their doorstep and not at the facility that she was supposed to be in, Kevin refused to let her see the kids and sent her away. This led her to driving to Los Angeles to the salon where she shaved her head. The person who cut her hair kept it and quickly attempted to auction it off for $1 million, which sounds crazy, but you know that there are some weirdos out there who would have called that a bargain. Following the shaving, she she made her way to a tattoo parlor where the artist asked her what happened to her hair, and Britney's response was, "I was just tired of people touching it. I just don't want people to touch my hair." This was an incident that eventually got Britney placed under the conservatorship, which she was released from in 2021, thankfully. Speaking of which, number 1, conservatorship. Britney's father was a dark cloud in her life, doing nothing but making everything harder for his daughter. Despite initially taking a back seat while she rose to fame, a court ruled in 2007 that she was unfit to control her own finances and granted that power instead to her father, who was a no-no juice enthusiast with a sweet tooth for expensive things. After the second time she was admitted to the hospital for psychiatric assessment, the financial power was thrust onto her father, who managed her money very well. I'm just kidding, he's a trash bag and he spent a lot of money that he didn't have. Her father reportedly stole $5 million from his daughter over the 13-year conservatorship, spending it on everything from vacations and boats to houses and cars, all wasted by Jamie. Financial woes were not the only problem that came with the conservatorship. According to a court report from 2019, Britney was unable to get married or have children under the conservatorship, which is, disgusting, just so gross. I don't care how crazy you are or unstable, if you want to get married, you go do it. Plus, what would have happened if she had a baby anyway? Like, oh, I'm sorry ma'am, you actually can't have that, you're too crazy for one of those, and I'm gonna have to confiscate that contraband. Thankfully, the conservatorship ended in 2021 and Britney is free to be her weird, wild self. If you need any proof, just check out the TikTok. Seriously, it's just... Those are the Britney scandals you forgot about. What did we miss? Cause hey, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them. Let us know in the comments below. If you made it to the end of this video, I will share with you one strand of Britney's hair. Lightly tap that like button if you enjoy our content and you want to see more. Thanks for stopping beyond the screen today, and we'll see you next time.